Okay, guys, it's time for episode 40 of Wine, Music, and Games. At this time, we have a couple bottles of a great Portuguese red, an awesome, sophisticated album from a guy who went solo, and two versions of first a draw and draw, then a roll and write that we've really enjoyed this past month and a couple of years ago. Stay tuned. So how you doing, Honey Bunch?
I'm doing great. How are you, dear?
I'm fantastic. I'm sitting next to the woman I love, and we're making it through. School has started.
We're a little tired. We
Yeah.
look a little tired. Next time you see us, we're going to look much better. No, we're not. We're going to look the same. But we will have played some other games and listened to some more albums and had some good wine that we can talk
helps,
about.
For sure.
Well, we were fortunate enough to go to Portugal.
Yeah.
And before we left, we said, well, let's try some Portuguese wines here.
Yeah. So what do we got for wines,
And we
hon?
got an incredible wine. It's called Quinta das Carvalhas, and it's from the Douro region of Portugal. This is a wine that is available in the United States from Total Wine. They have all of their...
At least here in the Bay Area.
They have many. They have about 5 different varieties, and they range from $10 to $50 some dollars.
Yeah, yeah.
This one is their lower point one. This is a $20 bottle of wine, and it is wonderful. So we tasted this, and we're like, we have got to go there when we go to Portugal, and
Yes,
we
definitely.
did, and it was a wonderful
Great tasting,
experience
yeah.
to taste there. This is made with mostly, which is very common, 60% Touriga Nacional, 20% Touriga Franca, and 20% Tinto Ruiz. If you aerate this a few times, it's so complex and beautiful. It would fit with many of the foods that you would probably want. I can't imagine it being bad in any food. It is a big wine. They recommend it with game or strong dishes. Well...
We drank it with games.
Games, but not with game. I've never eaten game before.
Yeah,
However,
you've had duck at least. That would be game considered. But
maybe.
we're not going to have deer or something
No.
like that. No, it's not going to. No, not going to happen.
but I would say you don't need game. You just need games. You don't even need games to drink and appreciate this wine. It is a beautiful,
for sure.
beautiful wine.
The wine varietals in this are the ones that are primarily used in port wine, and the Douro region is the region that they make port wine at. And so these are called still wines or
Dry
wines.
wines.
Dry wines,
Dry
not
wines,
still.
yeah.
Dry wines, and very few of the dry wines from Portugal make it over here,
Yes.
especially onto the West Coast where we are. So it's nice to find a few, and I hope that some more of these come out, because
Yes.
there are like 250 some odd grape varietals in Portugal, and we were able to taste some of them when we were fortunate enough to be there.
And
oh my
some
goodness,
were so delicious
so
and
good.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
But this is one that we have found to be available here.
Yeah.
And if you get a chance, you should try it.
Definitely. All right, the music this time. So this artist, this is his first solo work, but he was in the kind of what was considered an art band back in the late 70s, kind of coming up through the punk, post-punk CBGB's area, even though they really weren't CBGB's because that's New York and this is from England, but kind of that era and such. But we really discovered the band as they went more mellow and kind of became this kind of sophisticated avant-garde. And then when Bryan Ferry went solo, Boys and Girls was the first album, and this is almost a continuation of Avalon. I really love the sound on this album, the guitar, the kind of the space in the notes, and his vocals are really beautiful. This is kind of sexy and really kind of fun to have on, and it's a really great album. Boys and Girls, Bryan Ferry, check it out. Definitely worth hunting down. All right, and for games this time, plural, just like we had 2 bottles of wine, we've got 2 games, 2 different versions and iterations, if you will, of a game called Let's Make a Bus Route. Now, the original Let's Make a Bus Route came out for 2 to 5 players, and it is a game where everybody is drawing on a map of the city, so you're going to get in each other's way, but on your player board you're trying to get to particular spots and make things pay off as you get commuters and tourists and university students and so on to the various places. But it's a draw and draw because each of the different boards, whoops, turn that one over, has a different type of bus route that you're going to draw for that particular color card that's going to turn over. So this one's very straightforward, and depending upon the board you have, that kind of determines, well, first you have a starting spot, but then once you've got that, then depending upon the board that you have, it determines where you're going to go from your initial starting spot. So this is a very straightforward one with 5. It plays with up to 5, which is kind of nice, and plays in about 30 minutes. So we really like that one. I mean, pretty simplistic.
Right? It's a very, very easy game, but it's a whole lot of fun to play.
Yeah, so we enjoyed that when it came out a couple of years ago. So when Let's Make a Bus Route, the dice game, came out. I should say both of these are designed by Saashi. They're a Japanese publisher. Saashi and Saashi has put these out. But I know that this one at least has been available at Meeple Source and also Board Game Geek's web store. So this is the latest one, Let's Make a Bus Route, the dice game. Now it looks all cartoony and stuff like that, but this one especially, for only 1 to 2 players, so great for the two of us.
It's great. And great for you.
Yeah, I tried it solo.
Yeah, and you really liked it.
And I really liked it.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about it more in detail on our audio podcast, but this one has actually more depth, as each player is either going to be drafting dice to place marks on their player board, or with the dice remaining, choosing one of the dice which triggers the type of bus route marks they can make on that particular turn. It is a stellar game. We really have enjoyed this one.
We love this game. It's so much fun to play. You're very involved the whole time. You have a lot more decisions to make. It really feels like a heavier, more spatial game.
Than the original,
yes. The original. Yeah. And the original is more just a lighter, fun, light play.
Definitely.
But this one
it's got more heft to it,
yeah.
even though it takes only about 30 minutes to play. So in both cases, if you're looking for more and you want something light, the original is really good. And if you're looking for a 1 or 2 player game,
right, this is a perfect.
Strongly recommend this
perfect
one.
1 or 2 player game. Yeah.
Okay, Shell, let's go back and review what we talked about this week.
If you would like to try some wonderful Portuguese wine that is very inexpensive and the quality is very high, it's called Quinta das Carvalhas. It's from the Douro region of Portugal.
This is the Reserva.
Reserva.
Yes.
They do have lower levels of the wine and much higher levels too, which we will review the higher levels later.
As we go forward,
in some future episodes.
Yeah, definitely. It is a wine that you're probably going to want to decant and could be laid down at this point as a nice red.
Yes.
Boys and Girls is the album from Bryan Ferry. Put it on, kick back, relax. This is just wonderful stuff. And finally, the 2 different games. First, Let's Make a Bus Route, the original from Saashi and Saashi, as well as Let's Make a Bus Route, the dice game. These 2 are really solid. This one we love.
Yeah, it's a great game.
Not that we don't like this one as well. All right, that'll do it for this week. Remember, you can listen to our audio podcast at garrettsgames.com. You can make sure you ring the bell and give us a thumbs up. Leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Take care of yourselves and have an amazing week. Take care. Bye.
Bye.